The US is concerned over China's action along the Taiwan Strait. Biden's aide has expressed concern to the Chinese president. We know Antony Blinken met Xi Jinping, and Blinken has said that he's concerned over Chinese provocation along Taiwan Strait, and US does not support independence of Taiwan. That is the breaking inputs that we are gathering on the broadcast, breaking developments coming in. My colleague Pradeep is joining us live on the broadcast to give us an understanding of this key meeting. Pradeep, after the meeting of Antony Blinken and Xi Jinping, we are getting these breaking developments where Blinken has said that they are concerned over Chinese provocation of the Taiwan Strait, and the US does not support independence of Taiwan.
See, one has to understand, if we talk about this meeting between US Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Xi Jinping, this is a very important meeting, because if you look at the development during the last few months, almost the diplomatic channels between China and United States of America has dried. Not only that, there was a breakdown in the communication network also that had led to the downward spiral. And this is one of the reasons that Antony Blinken is right now in China, and he's trying to revive and improve relationship between two countries, because already yesterday when he had a meeting with the Wang Yi, who is one of the senior most diplomats in China, he had made it clear that so far as Taiwan is concerned, neither they are going to compromise nor they are going to concede, and US will have to look at it rationally. And that's what actually today Antony Blinken, when he met Xi Jinping, he made it clear that we were not asking for the independence of Taiwan, but yes, we are really concerned about the provocative stance that has been taken by the China in Taiwan Strait. Because if we talk about the Taiwan, it is a democratically elected region where it has got 23 million people, and it is what is connecting Taiwan with China. It is through the Taiwan Strait, and we have seen that the China has been always claiming that Taiwan is a part of China, because they call it's a one China policy. They said the US should also look it through the same prism rather than looking at it differently, because that is only going to lead to confrontation, because it's up to the United States of America to decide whether they want confrontation or they want or cooperation, or they want conflict. So that's why while meeting Xi Jinping, Antony Blinken made it clear that we were not for the independence, but yes, he raised concern that provocative action that China is taking on Straits of Taiwan should not be there, because that will only lead to problem that US is concerned about, and they will continue to raise their voice for that. Now it's to be seen how, in fact, the meeting is really going to move further, because already Xi Jinping had told the US diplomats who were present, the delegation, that yes, they have reached certain agreements over the issues. They are discussing over it, because this is after 5 years that any Secretary of State has reached United States of America. As I was saying earlier, there was total trust deficit. It had led to the downward spiral. There was no communication network between the two countries. Almost, in fact, they had been looking at each other with suspicion. There was more of a confrontation over the issues, whether it was about human rights, whether it was about trade, whether it was Taiwan, or whether it was the Chinese support so far as the Ukraine-Russia war is concerned, because they felt that it was supporting Russians rather than the Ukrainians. So that is what has set them poles apart. But so this way, this meeting is going to be very important. How it's going to move further, let's see and wait and watch. But yes, a very important statement coming from Antony Blinken, making it clear that this provocative stance of China can't be tolerated, because they should stop these provocative actions on Taiwan Strait that's connecting Taiwan and China together.
Absolutely. Pradeep, thank you for giving us those important details. Let's also quickly listen in to what Antony Blinken had to say.
Here in Beijing, I had an important conversation with President Xi Jinping, and I had candid, substantive, and constructive discussions with my counterparts, Director Wang Yi and State Councilor Qin Gang. I appreciate the hospitality extended by our hosts. In every meeting, I stress that direct engagement and sustained communication at senior levels is the best way to responsibly manage our differences and ensure that competition does not veer into conflict. And I heard the same from my Chinese counterparts. We both agree on the need to stabilize our relationship.